Welcome to Softcore History.
What is up? Welcome back to Softcore History. I am your host for the week, Rob Fox. I'm sitting here with 3 White Claws in front of me at 11 a.m. on a Saturday. We usually record on a Monday, but I will be in Hawaii early this week for a wedding. So yeah, we're doing it on a fucking Saturday morning, and Dan's upset about it.
Dan's mad.
I don't want to talk about it.
Yeah, won't even say anything. It took him that long to even decide that he didn't want to talk about it.
All the hate and vitriol was just there and just kind of oozed out of him. Like, I don't want to talk about it.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm going to a tropical island to go to a wedding of one of my best friends, and I want to miss like a good chunk of work.
And still get paid for it.
It was crazy. I didn't even know we could take off.
You didn't know we had vacation days?
We don't.
We do and we don't.
We don't.
They don't like it.
No.
But whatever. It's 3 day. I don't go anywhere any other time. Like, this is my only midweek trip until probably Christmas again.
Whoa.
To be fair, I am taking off next Friday.
Where are you going?
I'm getting a sleeve tat. Or I'm starting my sleeve tat.
Oh, right. You booked that appointment.
That's an outrageous reason to take off work.
I've overworked.
It takes a long time.
Though. Like, I've built up enough equity that I'm allowed to take off a Friday.
A Friday, that's fine. I'm working remote that Friday, actually, for another wedding.
Oh, yeah. We'll be at that wedding.
Yeah. And you'll be watching my dogs.
No, that's the Friday after.
It's sure not.
The 11th?
Yeah.
I'm getting my tattoo on the 4th.
Oh, okay.
I think you guys said the exact same thing.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know what the fuck's going on. There is one thing I want to talk about real quick before we get into this topic. We might need to start coordinating outfits.
Why do you say that?
Or making sure we don't accidentally coordinate outfits.
Don't see
Dan and I look
anything
great.
wrong with what is currently going on. If you're one of the 12 people watching on YouTube right now.
It's more for the clips.
Yeah.
More for the clips.
It is for the clips.
Because it just looks fucking weird. So if you're
If
not
anything,
watching,
we look uniform, right? Like
it's just more bizarre. We look like a cult podcast. Like
I mean, let's not knock that.
Yeah.
I would love it if we became a cult
you also
podcast.
kind of match us.
You kind of look like our leader.
That's the problem. Yeah. So me and Dan are both wearing hoodies, but a specific kind of like sweater, like hoodie situation. Dan and Jake are both wearing maroon. And me and Jake are both wearing our softcore history hats.
I think we look like followers and you look like a cult leader.
Yeah.
Because you got the special jazzy sweater on.
I have the high priest's outfit on.
That's holy garb.
Yes.
We're in the plain clothes. Yeah.
Yeah, to keep you holy.
Yeah, right. It's like we must be humbled.
By the way, that was maybe the best spare bedroom sketch that we never recorded.
Which one?
Cult Chat.
Oh, yeah.
It was the podcast but there's 2 people in a cult. Yeah. And they're like, what is the Grand Leader was wild this week. The lizards must have been crawling around his brain.
Yeah.
And they're just talking. It's just like a normal podcast. They're talking about life and pop culture, but it's all
just cults.
It's just all about the cult.
I loved that one for sure. Conceptually, that one was really hard to write though.
It was.
Because it's all right, you have to create this entire world and then what would be an inside joke in this world you just created that no one listening to it would get it, and that's the point. It's it's like a completely non-understandable segment.
Yeah.
So it's why would we write it? But it's very funny in theory.
Yeah, I mean, the whole album was really funny for the baker's dozen people that bought it.
That's right.
And we respect you.
Yes.
I love everyone that bought that.
I will buy you dinner. If you were literally I bought that album, I will fucking, and you're in town, I will buy you dinner.
Rob is saying he will take a loss on that.
Yes, because I just appreciate it so much.
That was one big L.
Yeah.
But you know what? I loved every minute of it.
It's fine.
You're telling me.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Dan recorded it all.
And edited.
It's more of the editing.
The editing is the real bastard. It's all right, though, because we're going to have some sketches coming back soon. So it's fun. It's fine in our announcement situation.
If you want to hear all 3 of us sound like we were recording with a cup on a string, that's what we were working with.
Literally recorded out of Rob's spare bedroom.
I know.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, that's why
and
it's called
yours.
that.
And
That's
mine,
true.
yeah.
I
My
did
spare
not.
bedroom turned my residence for a month because I broke up with my girlfriend at a point where she was living in my house. So I went upstairs.
I thought you were living in hers.
No, that was my house.
Okay.
Yeah, because your roommate was there too, right?
Yeah, there was 5 people in the house.
This is
What, didn't one pay rent but not live there?
Yeah, Justin did.
Yeah.
He went to Indiana. He paid rent, got a job in Indiana, just moved.
Yeah.
But kept paying
Sick.
Indiana's free to live in, so it's fine.
It was because of the person he worked for let him live at his house.
Oh, sick.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. Anyway, if you haven't already, please leave a review on iTunes. 5 stars, write whatever you want. I don't really care. Just leave a review. Helps us get up the charts. We rank every week, but, it's nice to jump up a little more. Wouldn't you say?
We haven't been, actually.
Ooh.
Because you guys aren't leaving enough reviews.
Wow, you sons of bitches. If you're someone who hasn't left a review and you come in town, I'm going to take you out to dinner and then dine and dash on you.
Just go full Mighty Ducks 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
The cake and it's like bills on you.
Fucking bastards. But yeah, please do that if you haven't.
Yeah, please leave reviews.
Yeah.
I just like reading them when I'm on the toilet.
It's very
fun.
nice.
Yeah.
And you can buy merch at softcorehistory.com.
Yeah, get a cool hat like me and Rob.
Yeah.
2 Irish to Die shirts.
2 Irish to Die for St. Patrick's Day.
Patrick's Day coming up.
Come on. And then also, there's one other thing I was going to say. Even if you don't want to watch these, go subscribe to our YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That just helps.
Drinking Bros History, and then we have a backup channel, just Softcore History.
Doesn't Softcore History have like 1,000 subscribers?
Subscribe to both, yeah.
Yeah. Subscribe to both. Whatever. Fuck it. That's a pretty good subscriber base for not really trying to use it.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, the video drops on Drinking Bros History on Tuesday nights, and then we just kind of back it up on Softcore History on YouTube on like Thursday, Friday, end of the week. So subscribe to both. Whatever.
Smash, like, whatever. Anyway, let's get into today's topic. We're talking about the fucking media.
Go. No.
Yeah.
Not the media.
The fucking media.
The lib cuck media.
Yeah, libcug, whatever. The American media, the press. It's been around since before the country was founded. Ben Franklin was famous for writing in colonial papers under his own name and pseudonyms. I forget, like Good Sense or something. Silence Do Good. I'm trying to remember my National Treasure references here.
Right.
Blah, 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 shit like that. The Federalist Papers were originally published in New York newspapers. If you've seen or listened to Hamilton, you know what that is. And that's probably the only reason you know what that is.
Are you really suggesting that the only reason I know what the Federalist Papers are is from fucking Hamilton?
Yeah, are you suggesting that I would watch Hamilton?
Yeah, fuck you. I've never seen Hamilton.
Fuck you.
Fuck you.
This is the royal you. I wasn't like looking at you.
No.
We're directly looking at both of us.
Well, I have
you-
to talk to you.
Well, but
don't
you
have to
put a lot
talk
of
to
stink
us.
on the way you talk at us, though.
All right.
Like we're some sort of plebes.
Yeah. Well, you're dressed like plebes, and I'm your leader.
Continue,
I'm your-
master.
Yeah, glorious wizard god.
I feel like I'm like not second in command, but maybe fifth in command, and I'm just trying to like weasel my way up.
Yeah, he's making a move
Well,
on
that's
you.
the hood. That's your that signifies you're a little holier. You have the halo, so to
Yeah.
speak.
So
I'm making some like back alley deals.
yeah, you're getting
on the
like
low.
you're climbing the ladder, the cult ladder. I am
this
definitely
guy-
just shoveling shit.
Yeah,
and
this guy
taking
cleans the
psychedelics.
room after I fuck his wife.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Just putting acid in all my food.
Yeah.
I think there's sounds and colors that I'm gonna discover later. You guys clearly made all that up, but I'm like, cool. I'm always high.
Yeah, but that's the carrot is the new colors you're going to learn about.
Yeah. It's like, man, blue has a shape to it. Yeah, dude, keep eating the cake. Come on.
Here's some more peyote.
Yeah, it's like, take the medicine. Dude, I swear to God, being in a cult would be so much fun. Like, I would love to do it. It has to be a cool cult, though.
It has to be a very like you gotta fuck.
That's the problem,
You
though.
gotta
Like,
fuck and do drugs.
Honestly, before the Kool-Aid, like the Jim Jones situation is out of dope.
actually, not bad at all. Jonestown was fine until everyone had to die.
they had basketball courts. I
Yeah.
could just hoop all day.
Prison has basketball courts. What do you? Is that
They also-
is that what you need?
They also have weights, so I can. Like,
Yeah.
prison doesn't sound that bad to me.
Honestly, I think you'd do okay in prison.
I think you'd thrive.
Yeah.
I don't think you'd do okay.
The
I think
only
you would
problem
succeed.
with prison, and Jack's brought this up before. I mean, a lot of people have brought this up, but you have to go like with your race, which is unfortunate.
Oh my
because
God.
Then I have to
Yes.
become an Aryan.
I'm sorry,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
there's also like, what do Jews do in prison? Like, where do we go?
I think you know.
What?
Yeah. It's just about everything bad you can imagine in prison.
Yeah.
What don't Jews do in prison? Nothing they want to.
Yeah, seriously. I can't go to the skinheads, can't go to
No.
the black guys, can't go to the Puerto Ricans. Like, who do I go to? It's
Right.
like me and one other accountant.
How often are Jewish people being sent to maximum security prison?
Never. We run everything.
Yeah, if anything,
Yeah.
you're just playing tennis.
Yeah.
At those low level
Yeah, your
places
minimum
where you can
security.
leave on the weekends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Give Give you a car.
That'd be kind of fun, man. You just like get a year off.
White collar crime.
Yeah,
It
Yeah,
pays.
Bernie Madoff crime. Yeah.
Or Jordan, whatever the fuck.
Belfort.
Yeah,
Oh,
Jordan
yeah.
Belfort. He was in jail with Tommy Chong. Him and Tommy Chong were in jail together.
Oh no, God, what a terrible experience.
I know,
Yeah,
right?
It's
Fuck.
nothing.
Anyway, though, there's examples of press having an impact on the country since literally before we ever intended to become a country. But when did the American media, as we know it, really begin? When did it become its modern self? Any guesses?
I would probably say like sometime in the mid 80s, whenever the 24-hour news cycle started.
Okay.
Samuel Adams handing out pamphlets. My serious guess would probably be was it Lusitania?
Or the Maine? Are you trying to the Spanish
boat?
American War or World War One?
Spanish American War.
That's the Maine.
Okay, it's the Maine.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're both wrong.
Yes.
The answer is kind of random, but you'll probably hear it and be like, oh, all right, that makes sense. The Mexican-American War was actually the event that basically overnight transformed the press into how we know it today. It's not the Spanish-American War, the Mexican-American War, 1846 to 1848.
Okay. So not 1985.
No.
Okay.
No.
About over 100 years.
About 140 years off, yeah.
Remember the Alamo.
No.
Not during the Mexican-American War. That was the Texas War of
was
Independence.
Texas? Oh, well,
yeah.
God.
Same diff. Those people
Learn
were
something
dead
new
for a
every day.
decade, yeah. Essentially, this is what turned the American citizen into the sort of like information coke addicts that we are today.
Okay.
Where it's just like shove more fucking, I just need info all the time.
So
like just
people
put it
just
in
want
me.
like the body count every day, war count, like war updates.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
the war, the Mexican-American War, coincided with some obvious like technological advances as well as some societal changes that we're going to talk about. And then it was literally the biggest news event in the country in 30 years since Washington, D.C. was probably burned.
Yeah.
That's probably the biggest news event since then. But we do have to back up a little. There is a little bit of groundwork to lay to allow the Mexican-American War to be what created our modern basically 24/7 news cycle.
I just out of curiosity to you, so I don't know a whole lot about the Mexican-American War, but it was pretty significant, right? Like it was a pretty big one. Weren't we? What?
Oh, hey, fellas, just on producing duty over here.
Look at him over there
That's
producing.
Jack.
Just flipping them cameras around. Back to you guys. Or do you want me to chime in? Because
Chime in.
I'll
yeah.
say one thing about the Mexican-American War. Every notable officer from the American Civil War pretty much cut their teeth in Mexico during that
Yep,
war.
Robert E. Lee, Grant, literally any Civil War general you've heard of
Okay.
served in the Mexican-American War.
Really? I
Okay.
thought- is Tyler involved in the Mexican-American War or no?
Polk.
Polk is?
Tyler annexes Texas
Yeah.
and then as a lame duck, which pisses Mexico the fuck off. So he does it like imagine, like it'd be like Trump like taking some land that like I don't know Mexico or Canada or someone didn't want us to take.
Yeah.
Like 3 months before he left office.
That would be like Trump going like, I'm going to extend California all the way down to the bottom of the Baja Peninsula.
He tried to buy Greenland.
Oh, that's right.
That would have been rad.
That's insane.
And I was
Yeah.
100% for that.
Yes.
We haven't annexed shit in so long.
It's bullshit.
Yeah, look, got fucking Russia trying to do it with Ukraine. They got Crimea. Why
Yeah.
can't we do shit?
So we can do it street legal.
Yeah.
But yeah, so the Mexican-American War was probably the first like publicly controversial war in American history.
Okay.
We basically goaded them into it. They technically started it.
Didn't we do like a false flag kind of thing?
That's a whole nother episode, but yeah, so Mexican soldiers came across the Rio Grande and attacked like a sort of scouting party of dragoons, American dragoons. 11 people were killed.
Okay.
It was
Tell me
on.
more about these dragoons.
Yeah, not
I like
dragons.
crab dragoons.
Yeah.
This is my favorite appetizer.
Yep. They're mid.
Mid?
Yeah.
Not if they're done right. They're top tier if they're done.
I think, yeah, crab rangoons is like a top like 2 or 3 appetizer.
Yeah, you go like so. They have lump blue crab meat in there. Goons, really good.
Even shitty goons.
Yeah, bad goons are good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's no such thing as a bad goon.
No.
It's like pizza.
Yeah,
literally,
exactly.
it's the fucking same. Yeah, like, there's really no such thing as like a bad mozzarella stick.
It's like pizza if it was pizza bites, like bagel bites.
Yeah, Fuck, man. Now I just
No,
want
that's what I'm saying. That's how mid they are.
Oh, wrong.
Boo.
I don't like you
Totino's
anymore.
pizza rolls, fucking
Fire.
top tier, dude.
Fire.
Oh yeah, but not the bagel bites.
No,
Oh.
I'm actually pretty over bagel bites. I
Bagel
agree.
bites kind
they're
of suck.
trash.
No, especially if like they never cook right. So it's always you get like a dough piece that's still kind of cold on the inside,
Yeah.
and then molten hot lava pizza topping.
If
Also-
we're going cheap pizza options, you got to go Elio's with the square pizzas.
Oh, those are good. Yes,
Never had it.
they're good.
Don't intend to.
I ate a lot of them in college.
I love Totino's party pizzas in college.
It's kind of similar to that.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, then maybe I will like it. Fun life hack for pizza, by the way. You get microwavable bacon because it's already fully cooked. Toss it on your frozen pizza. That bacon cooks right on top of the pizza. Boom. Now you got a bacon pizza.
Fuck, man.
Yeah.
Blowing my mind. I actually do. I like to do bacon on pizza.
Me too.
and
I
then
fucking love it.
Double that hack. Get some Easy Mac. Put that on there.
Okay.
Yeah.
You mac and cheese on a pizza guy? I think that
It's
personally that mac and
fantastic.
cheese as a topping is egregious on anything, like a burger.
Clearly,
a
you've
pizza.
never been to CC's.
Yeah.
No, I have been to see motherfucker. I have eaten hundreds of thousands of calories at CC's Pizza.
What's your record? How many slices?
So one time we
we're supposed to
ate
eat
pot brownies.
That's how every CC story starts.
Yeah.
No.
It's we got really high.
Mine was for the love of the game.
just doing it, just ball into ball, you know?
It was my buddy's birthday and it was an eating competition. He went. I actually lost and I ate 52 slices.
Holy shit.
damn.
In one sitting? Yeah. Over how much time?
We were there for like 4 hours.
Yeah, because they do run out of pizza pretty
Yeah.
quick.
I hate that.
Yeah,
that
it
makes
pisses
me
me
so
off.
mad. It's like I've
like, go
spent
up there-
$5 to be here, sir.
Yeah,
Bring
you go
me
up there.
food.
The only thing left is like some like
Dessert pizza.
or some pineapple.
That's
bullshit.
not as bad as like when you go to an all-you-can-eat wings situation and they will only bring it 6 at a time. And
Yeah.
you have to wait and you have to order.
And it takes like 30 minutes to get 6 wings
Yeah,
every
it's like
time.
just-
That's
bring me
strategic
100
though because you'll get full.
I don't get full. It's
I know.
just,
It's impossible to get
I'm
full
there
on
forever.
wings, which is why
Yeah.
I love wings.
Wings are great.
Shrimp
One
too.
time I
could-
Can we just talk about our favorite appetizers the rest
Yeah.
of the episode? Because I could do 2 hours on this.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So someone's just got to do the history of appetizers.
That seems right up Jake's alley.
Yeah.
No, I can't do that. I was told specifically not to do things like that anymore. Because I got a little too vague at one
We'll
point.
allow it for the history of appetizers, to be
It's
honest.
like, Jake, you just did an episode, the history of sound. Like, you gotta narrow it down a little bit more.
Where the fuck were we?
I asked a question about the Mexican-American
Oh, yeah,
War,
yeah, yeah.
and we got into pizza
So
hacks.
anyway, and that's what gave us California and New Mexico and all that. Gave us the other half of the country.
Yeah, exactly. The only reason I even brought it up is I'm reading Blood Meridian right now by Cormac
Yeah.
McCarthy, and I think it takes place during that war.
Oh,
So I'm
shit,
trying to get
okay.
some more context for it.
Yeah. I mean, you can learn everything you need to know about that war just on Wikipedia, like in
Cool.
terms of like a broad overview. It's a fucking fascinating war, and it's easily the forgotten war of the 19th century, which is bizarre. Well, maybe the Spanish-American War, I guess, is. But this one, it does not get the hype it deserves, considering how much of the country it gave us. Like, we all know the Louisiana Purchase, right?
Yeah.
But then you're like, what was the Mexican-American War again? And it's like, it gave us the other half.
Yeah.
Of the it's crazy.
Yeah,
and it also
we wouldn't have the West Coast.
right, and it
without
also
yeah.
this was the point when the United States became a world power.
Sure.
Like, in fact, before the war, a lot of Europeans were like, "Oh, Mexico's gonna fucking wash them. Like, Mexico's gonna fuck them up."
Right, because Mexico had been established longer. Yeah.
No, it hadn't been such long.
Wait,
Mexico's independence was like 1820s, 18.
Oh, really?
1810s
from Spain?
Yeah.
Okay,
they
but
were after.
hadn't it been colonized longer and stuff? Hadn't there been people there long? So what I guess what's
They
the
definitely
assumption?
had more infrastructure
Okay.
native-wise than the United States.
Sure.
I mean, that's where the Aztecs were and stuff like that.
Well, that makes sense.
I mean, there was, major civilizations in our neck of the woods too, but it wasn't quite
Okay.
the Aztecs. I mean, the Aztecs were the goat. Even though they're overrated, right, Jack?
Sorry, still getting used to the camera here. Yeah, Aztecs. I just think any of those dead civilizations, the Aztecs, the Spartans, the samurai. I just think they get overhyped and romanticized too much. They're dead for a reason.
Yeah, 100%. And you can listen to that episode where Jack explains in detail.
Well, yeah. The Aztecs weren't colonizers either, guys.
Right, yeah. No, the Aztec Empire didn't do any colonizing.
That was
Yeah.
Europeans.
Yeah, they invented it. There was one literal college professor on Twitter, I think she was either history or psychology or something like that, and she literally was like, Europeans taught Native Americans how to rape.
Yeah, right.
They didn't know what rape was before the Europeans came.
It's like, motherfucker,
Native
apes
Americans
rape each other.
We talked about in the Pocahontas episode, but yeah, Native Americans had like well-established rape laws. Like,
Yes!
like
Yeah.
fucking on site, you're dead.
Yeah, like well established. She's just like, you know what? White people invented rape. No, we brought that with us out of the animal kingdom, and
Yeah.
it's just stuck around.
That's right. Yeah, because we taught dolphins that then too.
Yes, we did.
Yeah,
That,
that lady that was fucking that
I'm
dolphin.
fine with actually somehow like starting a campaign that SeaWorld taught dolphins to rape.
It's like, man, you thought blackfish was bad? This is rape fish.
Yeah. But yeah, so the Mexican-American War, hugely consequential. Anyway, we do have to lay some groundwork before that. Talking about the rise of the penny press. All right. The news used to be just for the rich and maybe the upper middle class. But on the East Coast in the 1820s and 30s, as the middle class grew, more people wanted the shit that rich people had.
So
But
you're saying the idea of information as currency is not new.
it is not. This is maybe my shit don't changeiest episode. And we will get into that more. They want what rich people had without paying as much, typical. So really, and I can't stress this enough, all of America's problems are caused by giving poor people money
Okay.
and welfare.
It's okay.
Yeah.
You can just leave that at that. You
Yeah.
don't have to explain your thoughts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Clip that. That's in context. Fuck you.
You
Yeah.
know, I do the clips.
Yeah, I
right?
know.
Okay.
So there was another important development as well that kind of coincided with that. The steam-powered press
Oh, okay. Steam.
made newspapers way cheaper to print because it used up until literally the 1820s. It had gotten better, but not that much better than Gutenberg's original
yeah,
situation.
just putting shit down.
Yeah, it was by
pressing
hand
it.
and shit like that. Yeah. So some entrepreneurial fellows decided to start servicing this unwashed but slightly literate audience. Good business idea. The first penny paper was in New York. It was The Sun. It debuted in 1833. And at first, they basically just gave these people what the news was at the time, right? They were like,
Sure.
okay, it's a newspaper, just printed cheaper, and now we're selling it to them instead of just the rich people. But newspapers were written for upper-class people and their taste, and these trash people, well, they wanted trash.
Yeah, it's like, hey, I'm trying to eat like shit here. I'm
Yeah.
a pig. Feed me slop.
Yes.
Yeah.
So the penny papers basically and quickly became tabloids.
Yeah, it was probably very sensational.
It
Yeah.
invented sensationalism.
Oh, okay. Oh, they invented that. Wow. We're there, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
They reported on gossip and gruesome murders, police stories of like chasing down bad guys and shit like that,
Sick.
tales of adventure from the Old West, tragedies like a kid, like a whole orphanage dying from tuberculosis or a widow losing her family in a fire, the weather.
Yeah. God, that fucking sensational weather.
Worst of all, sports.
Ew.
Yeah. They kind of invented sports reporting. Was also written in a simpler, more blunt language.
I was going to say, yeah, they probably had to really dumb it down for them, too.
The language was far more to the point, also more vivid, though.
Well, it's
So if someone
sensational.
died, you're getting a lot of adjectives. Like if someone was murdered, a lot of adjectives. Going on.
Brutally.
Yeah.
A lot of adverbs.
Really vivid, talking about the blood, all that stuff. They also basically invented human interest stories.
Oh, so like this person builds doghouses for blind people.
I thought that was
don't
Tom
know.
Rinaldi.
Tom Rinaldi would be a homeless person if it wasn't for the penny press.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
So basically, if that sounds like, if you're hearing that and you're like, wait, that's just the news. Yeah, they made the news what it is. Shit does not change. And this is without even knowing that they wanted it, right? These
Yeah.
people didn't get newspapers before this. Without even knowing that what they wanted, that's what they wanted. And we still want the exact same shit today.
No, yeah. People complain a lot about modern news reporting or modern forms of communication like social media and shit. And it's like, yeah, it's ruining us. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah. Sure. You're so high mighty. You have such a great fucking perspective on this. But really, that's what everybody fucking wants. It's like,
It is.
I don't see you putting your phone down.
And
Like,
honestly,
Dan's holding his right now.
There's nothing I hate more than when I hear some fucking liberal whine about Fox News or some fucking conservative whine about the liberal media, especially the conservative. Because here's why. The media and the liberal media, that's just the free market, motherfucker.
Yeah.
That's what these people want.
Well, also, Fox News is the largest news organization in the country.
It gets like more ratings than MSNBC and CNN combined.
Yeah.
So
Whereas
I don't
the
know.
mainstream media, it's, yeah.
There's more outlets on the left.
Yeah,
The
sure.
right's more concentrated, but it's literally about the same.
Yeah, I mean, screen time, it's probably
Yeah.
equal.
When Disney bought 20th Century Fox, is that also Fox News or is that different?
I'm
That
not
might
sure.
have been severed off. I don't really remember. Actually, no, it's not because they advertise Fox Nation and shit on football.
ABC?
On like Fox NFL Sunday and shit all the time.
Well, that makes sense, but
Yeah. So I don't know. I'd have to look that up. But yeah, like this is what the people want. And also the other thing with that, what you're saying about social media, yeah, like, oh, social media is rooting everything. Can I give you a paraphrase, a Kurt Vonnegut quote?
Sure.
America is Rome and television is the lead in its wine. Television was ruining the American mind before social media was, right?
It sounds like newspapers were doing it before TV.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah.
It's all like, and I'm sure people before there was TV, radio was the shitty thing ruining it. And before that, I'm sure it was like jerk off dime store novels.
Yeah, and then before that, it was agriculture ruining people.
Yeah, Ted Kaczynski. You all
Yeah.
just sound like Ted Kaczynski.
Seriously.
That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah. No, totally.
Everything's ruining me.
Yeah. No, we got to go back to simpler ways, but not too far back because then nothing happens.
Yeah,
Yeah,
who
where's
do
the
we
sweet
blame-
spot? Where's the fucking sweet
what
spot?
do we blame before violent video games and movies?
Newspapers probably.
Board games?
The
Violent
shadow
board games.
Yeah, the shadows from the fire.
Be like, this Monopoly game, it's got to go.
That
Yeah.
monocle's the devil.
God damn it. So this entire episode is honestly going to make me feel like Ray Fiennes in Red Dragon being like, do you see? Do you see now? It's just, I like doing research in this episode. I was just like, God damn it, shit really doesn't ever change.
Okay, I've never actually seen that movie, so my reference point for that is South Park.
Oh yeah. It
Do you see?
yeah, it
Do you see?
spoofs that. You should watch it. That's a great movie.
Also, there's our quota for South Park references
Yes.
per episode.
Yeah.
One.
And why wouldn't a podcast of three white guys talking about history and politics not reference South Park every single episode?
You started the episode off with, I got 3 White Claws here, and I thought you were referring to us.
Oh.
I think White Claw would be an amazing slur for a white person. Just call him fucking White Claw.
Fucking White Claw. That'd be rad.
Because that's what white dudes drink.
Yeah. Also, unlike the older newspapers of the day, the penny press, this is important, they didn't make their money on subscriptions. These newspapers, they made their money on subscriptions. Like they were 6 cents a paper, like $4 a year, something like that. The middle class didn't want to pay that. So how did the penny press make money?
Selling ads.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Selling ads.
Yeah.
So selling papers, as many papers as possible, became paramount.
Right.
Sales mattered above pretty much everything. And to get sales, they needed to get the people what they wanted. We are literally still on this model today.
Yeah.
Yep. You ever been on a sponsorship call? Because it can be handled with an email, because all they do is repeat the email. What did they do for back then?
Yeah, I don't know. Show up. Like you could have sent a pigeon.
The Pony Express.
Yeah.
But
Pony
then-
Express makes a cameo in this.
But then you have to
episode.
wait for the telegram to come through too, and it's just everything that was already in the note.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I assume before this meeting could have been an email, there was like this meeting could have been a memo. Did you have to learn how to write memos in high school?
No.
That's how old I am.
I
Jack,
didn't.
did you have to learn ever how to write a memo?
No, not in my Midwestern public school education, no.
Ah, damn it.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, in
another
my
thing.
computer class, I had to learn how to write a memo. And let me tell you, it's pretty much the same as writing an email, except you have to be like, there's a subject line, there's a who it's to, you can be by person or department, blah, blah, blah. It's just official. It looks like an email, kind
In
of.
college, they tell us how to write a thank you note, which seems very unnecessary. I've never done it.
Good Lord.
It's like, oh, someone interviews you,
What?
send a thank you note.
What fucking class
Wait, oh,
were you
shit.
in at your daycare university that they taught you how to write a fucking thank you note?
Sports marketing.
Oh, yeah. Sports classes are like that. Go ahead, Jack.
I'm surprised we haven't just gone into full nostalgia mode and just talked about playing the Oregon Trail. That's all I remember.
Yep,
from being
on a
that age.
floppy disk.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah, did that for sure. We would name characters like Pam Anderson and shit like that. Because you could name the characters. So it's like, yeah, dude, Pam Anderson's in my wagon. She's my wife.
And she's dead.
Yeah, and she would die.
Her tits got dysentery.
You keep her in the wagon, though.
Well, you only buy bullets, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you go
Everything
kill.
else is useless.
Then you go be like a real American frontiersman and kill like 40 buffalo.
All the
Yeah.
buffalo.
And then they're like, you could only carry back 40 pounds of meat. And there's like 10,000 pounds of meat rotting on the prairie.
You murdered 75 buffalo.
Yeah.
You only have room for like 1/100th of what you killed.
God
that
damn.
is very accurate to the frontier days. That's how we got
Hell
rid of
yeah.
buffalo.
Why not?
I mean that and like
that's
just,
as American as it gets.
just like letting Gatling guns go from the side of train cars. Just like
overindulge.
oh, let's murder
Yeah.
them all. Let's get the whole herd.
Overindulging yourself and
Oh god.
wasting everything.
Yeah, especially after the Mexican-American War grabbed us California and shit. Buffalo were fucked.
More shit to shoot.
Yeah. This was basically the birth of mass media. This is the birth of mass media as we know it in the United States. This was also the birth of newsies.
Newsies.
Penny press were the ones that started having little orphans on the corner being like, hey there, mister, 3 murders down in the Bowery.
Oh, like a little crier?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't know what a newsie is?
I'd never heard that term.
You never seen the hit musical Newsies with Christian Bale?
No, I've not seen the hit musical Newsies with Christian Bale.
Open the gates and
Jack, cut his mic.
seize the day.
Rob is very musical.
Yeah.
And musically oriented.
Newsies is great.
I'll have to give it a shot.
Yeah. It was like a Disney movie. It's directed by the guy who did High School Musical, Kenny Ortega,
Cool.
and he did Hocus Pocus.
Great.
You're going to love it.
I guess.
Kenny Ortega just sounds like a mid-level sports agent.
Everything's
It
mid-level
does.
to you right now.
No, he's-
Have you noticed that?
Yeah.
Or
Okay.
Life's just very mid right
Yeah,
now.
he's
Yeah.
just right in the middle.
Mid it out.
You're in the Bose speaker phase of your life.
But I'm just saying a guy that like represents like Solomon Hill in the NBA. Like Kenny Ortega's representing him.
It also just sounds like a mediocre, like, Sports Center anchor.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Kenny Ortega, welcome back to Sports Center at
He does the
2 in the morning.
I'm sitting in for Sao Paulo
Yeah.
Antonio. I'm
ESPN
Kenny
News
Ortega.
shift.
What a waste of a network. ESPN News. Who the fuck?
I'm always so mad whenever a game that I'm wanting to watch gets put there in the meantime before it actually gets on its real ESPN channel.
Yeah.
I'm like, what? Where the fuck? Why is it on ESPN News? I'll wait.
Or ESPN 3, which isn't included in ESPN Plus. And it's just like, I just want to watch it on my phone.
Yeah. It's so dumb. Listen, ESPN, we've got problems.
Yeah, god damn it. Speaking of mass media. Another interesting part of the penny press newspapers is that before them, papers weren't daily. They weren't even on a schedule.
Just whenever they wanted.
Whenever they
That's
had enough,
chaos.
whenever they had enough info,
I guess that makes sense. Like, you got to gather it.
Right.
Yeah, it's not like they have a Twitter they can just go grab shit from.
right. So the penny press eventually were the ones. Look, they didn't pull this out of thin air. People probably definitely did this before, but the penny press is the ones who really modernized and standardized finding news.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, they got to go find it, like
Yeah.
with quotation marks.
And this is in the point where I referenced my tweet from last night about Anchorman 2.
Yeah.
This is exactly like the two scenes in Anchorman 2 where Ron Burgundy, go look it up on YouTube. It's Anchorman 2, Why Can't We Tell Them What They Want to Hear, and Anchorman 2, Car Chase, where he's just like, you know what? Let's just make whatever we want in the news.
Yeah.
Fuck that. Why do we? I think the exact quote is, why do we have to tell them what they need to hear? Why can't we tell them what they want to hear?
Yeah. No, it's a really
That
valid
is
point.
the fucking penny press. That is a piece of satire from the 21st century about the rise of cable news in the 1970s and 80s. But really, this all fucking started in the 1830s.
It always starts before you think it does.
It does.
Yeah.
Yeah, but how often do the 1830s cross your mind?
Never.
That's just name
It's
one.
a forgotten era.
Can you name a president from the 1830s?
You just told us Polk, right?
Yeah.
Polk was the 40s.
Tyler.
Tyler, then? Yeah.
I don't know that Tyler was.
Dude,
I think he was 1840 to 1844.
Everything that happened in the 1830s, you could tell me. I'd be like, sure.
Like Van Buren was the 20s.
you
I
can
think
make up-
maybe Jackson bled into the 30s, but I could be wrong.
Honestly, anything that happened before 1860, you could just tell me some bullshit. I'd be like, that sounds okay.
Andrew Jackson on May 28th, 1830, was president.
So he was most of the 30s because he was 30 to 38.
He signed the Indian Removal Act in May of 1830. Maybe that's why we don't learn about 1830.
Yeah, we just kind of gloss over that. It's like, oh man, we were really busy removing some Native Americans.
Oopsie. And if you ever wanted to get into the first kind of modern version of political parties and Democrats, that would be the Jacksonian Democrats. Kind of laid the groundwork for our current political landscape. But that is a story for another time. They only printed when they needed to, wanted to. A lot of it was like editorials. Eventually, though, again, people became fucking coke addicted to information, and thus getting the story out first, just getting it out first, not necessarily completely right, became paramount.
So
because people breaking the news became super important because people would go to those newspapers. They don't want to be a bitch and wait for their news like a day late.
Yeah.
They want the motherfuckers getting it first.
Because you have to have shit to talk about.
Yeah. So the penny press were the ones that invented being beholden to advertisers, getting the story out first, all this fucking, and daily.
Yeah.
And inventing news, essentially.
Right.
It is worth noting, by the way, the old newspapers weren't actually anywhere near perfect. Most of them were backed by political parties or clubs to reach their elites and give them their opinions on shit like that. They were all politically backed. So the penny press was actually independent in so much as they weren't tied to a political party. But I would argue that if you are beholden to advertisers, you are not independent.
No,
you're just a different type of dependent.
Yeah, you have different things governing how you're going to do things. Instead of directly from a political party, money can still be spent to influence. Like
if you're tied
direction.
to advertisers and sales,
yeah. I mean, who's not beholden to something?
Right.
The idea
that in and of itself isn't a burn.
Well, yeah, like to be completely frank, people are like, well, it's biased. It's like all media is biased. That's the first thing they teach you about media. Right. All of it's biased. No one isn't.
Even anything going on right now, there's a funny connection this past week where Neil Young obviously removed his music from Spotify because of the Rogan connection for misinformation. And if you go down the rabbit hole long enough, there's a Pfizer connection to Neil Young.
Is it really?
The company that bought Neil Young's music also is like the same CEO or whatever from Pfizer.
And not bought, like he sold it to them. This isn't like a fucking Scooter Braun Taylor Swift situation. Like he actively was like looking for a buyer to cash out because that's what our old artists do. They
sell their catalog.
Right. They cash out, which is smart. I would fucking do that too.
So people who even try to make a stand nowadays, there's always follow.
I mean, Neil Young was fucking wrong.
Right. But always follow the money. Like,
for sure.
He's not just randomly doing this for no reason.
Do you think it's tied to
I
that?
actually don't think it's tied to who he sold it to at all. I think he is just.
I think he's just being
I don't think he knows who he sold. It's Neil Young.
Either way, it's funny.
It
is funny that there is
man's brain is broken from decades of hard drugs.
You know that needle? There was some damage done.
Yeah.
Turns out. Yeah.
I don't think he was like some sort of secret soldier for his fucking the hedge fund that bought his shit.
He probably has no idea where he is right now.
Yeah, that's really what's going on.
He's a chest thumping Pfizer soldier, man.
Yeah. The other interesting thing about the penny press papers is that at first they were mostly apolitical because politics didn't really interest their target audience. Like they wanted, again, like murder.
They want shit to talk
gossip
about.
And shit like that.
Also, I try to tell people, like, whenever they're like, are you political? Which side are you lean on? I'm like, I'm pretty apolitical because I'd rather make fun of both sides.
Right.
Why would I limit myself? So
No.
I feel like that's probably what the penny press did.
Yeah, they did. I mean, to an extent, and it was mostly just that these people didn't want to fucking talk about it.
Yeah.
They wanted. I think there's a quote. I didn't put it in this, but it's like they wanted to appeal to bar rooms and like sewing circles and shit like that.
Right, where people chat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know what the most famous penny paper was? Any guesses?
The National Enquirer.
Time magazine.
Well, it's a magazine, not a paper. It's like the most famous newspaper, penny press newspaper.
New York Post.
It'd be the New York Times. The New York Times. Fucking lib media.
Fucking rag, dude.
Fucking rag since the beginning. Fuck.
Yeah, just go in. Man, I love it when you just go in on things like that. So fun.
It started out as the New York Daily Times. Their first issue was actually released after the war, though.
Which is funny that you said they didn't really have a set schedule, but it was the Daily Times.
No. The old papers didn't have a set schedule. The penny press were daily. Yeah.
It's interesting that the New York Times now has the Daily.
Right.
every day.
but they also come out every day.
Yeah.
So it's fucking, I don't know. So the penny press created some good and some bad journalistic practices. They valued objectivity and facts. That was not a thing before that. Newspapers were like openly slanted before that. They democratized information to a large extent. And they were kind of an apolitical operation, although that went away pretty quick. And they reported on the everyday person and their concerns, although a lot of it was tabloid garbage, not just the elites and what the elites cared about, but you know, it was mostly trash stories. They invented dumbed down news. They invented inventing news, and they were beholden to sales, which ultimately might as well have made them in no way a valuer of objectivity or being apolitical, because you're going to have to chase what the people want to read. You're the free market.
Yeah.
Like, right? Like, you're going to have to chase the market. So whenever anyone complains about the media, and you're like, I only watch this cable news outlet because those ones lie.
Yeah.
It's all of them. You're part of it. You're part of it. They report on each other.
Wake up, sheeple.
They are sheeple. I'll use that unironically for this one. Sheeple.
I mean,
Fuck.
I don't know if you can really critique a system that you yourself are so entrenched in. Like, it's impossible to separate
Yeah,
and
dude.
remove
We're
yourself from
fucking media.
it. Yeah, we are media.
We are
media.
part of the
We're
machine.
all ads. Does she know she's an ad? Like, that's what we are.
Speaking of
that
ads-
season was brilliant of South Park. Oh man, we got another one.
Speaking of ads,
Speaking of ads.
and then you cut.
Yep.
Okay.
Cool.
Welcome back.
I mean, the video, I'm not going to cut it either.
Oh.
So we're just going to, because the video, you know, if you're listening on video right now, you're just watching us kind of talk.
Stare at the
Yeah,
screen.
it's whatever.
Yeah.
So the penny press was established, but they were still mostly local outfits reporting on local sensational news, like totally local operations. Then in 1837, the penny press began to flourish a little bit because Samuel Morse invented the telegraph.
Oh shit, Sammy Morris.
Sammy Morris.
With the beep boop machine.
The first telegraph transmission was sent in 1844, and it read,
Nice tits.
no, it was more fitting. Both are fitting for the
Okay.
first internet transmission, really. But this is fitting too. The first telegraph transmission, this is the first mass communications transmission ever.
Okay.
And it is too fitting to make sense to me. Like, I don't understand how this is real, but it is. The transmission said, "What hath God wrought?" Indeed.
Yeah. That's like
They knew it was a mistake from the first transmission.
it's like Oppenheimer with the nuke. I am become death, destroyer of worlds,
Yeah.
or whatever. Yeah.
Literally. Those two men knew exactly what they did.
Yeah. It's like, well, can't unring this bell.
Yep. So now enter the biggest news story in American history since the British burned Washington. So 30 years, I think, almost on the dot, something like that. The war with Mexico. This war had everything the penny press audiences loved. Tragedy and death and mangling.
Love a good mangling.
And actually, this is a fun fact, not for the people in the Mexican-American War, but fun fact for us because we're so removed from it. The Mexican-American War had almost double the casualty rate of the U.S. Civil War.
Jeez, that's bad.
Yeah.
That's really bad.
Rate, right. So
Oh,
not the same amount of actual deaths.
Oh,
Civil War and World War II are number one and number two, and World War I is number three. Mexican-American War is pretty far down the list, but the rate was bad.
So if
Okay.
you showed up, there's a good chance you were dying.
Yeah, Civil War was 6.5%. Mexican-American War was like 11 and change.
Damn. So like more than 1 in 10, like 1 in 9 people died.
Yeah.
That were in that fucking war.
Yeah.
Fuck.
It's pretty wild.
I would have thought the Civil War would have been higher.
The Civil War is still pretty bad. It's just so many people were in it.
Yeah.
It was about 2% of the American population died in that war.
That's
the Civil
insane.
War.
In the
That's
Civil War.
insane.
Yeah.
All over.
Good times. But you got to keep in mind, too, the Civil War, even though we dunk on their medicine, that's still 20 years advanced of what this one is. And this is taking place in rougher terrain. There's some tropical. There's heat.
A lot more heat.
It's a much worse. You'd much rather fight a war in like Virginia than you would in central Mexico.
Absolutely.
So
God, fuck that, dude.
Yeah.
Can you imagine like wearing fatigues in Mexico?
They were in wool. They wore wool uniforms.
yeah,
Oh,
heavy,
that's disgusting.
scratchy wool that didn't really fit you. Like that shit wasn't getting tailored. There was also drama. and stories of working class heroes and adventure. Yeah. I mean, it had everything the penny press readers wanted. The Mexican-American War is also the birth of the war correspondent.
Oh, so they had a guy in the field?
They had guys in the field. People were pretty horny for this war news.
Shit. So, God, can you imagine getting sent to the field in the Mexican-American War?
Well, the war correspondents were pretty into it.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So the people were so fucking horny and needy for war news that the media moguls from cities across the country, from New Orleans to New York and beyond, combined forces to create maybe the greatest information infrastructure leap until the internet was invented. Like, it is goddamn insane. The first telegraph was sent in 1844. By 1848, that was on one telegraph line between D.C. and Baltimore. Mm-hmm. By 1848, the end of the Mexican War, there were 12,000 miles of telegraph lines in the United States.
Holy shit.
4 years, almost entirely driven by the market for news.
That's wild, man.
Yeah.
12,000 miles. Shit. So it's crazy. I mean, I guess like that's faster than the internet. Like because like I remember when the internet came out and I was like, no one's like,
the internet took like 10 years.
People were just like, no one's going to use this. It's too slow.
Right. But even when it became popular, let's go from like 95 on, right?
Okay.
95 to 2000, the internet didn't really get like
It wasn't until like DSL broadband cable internet that the internet changed.
You guys weren't building your Angel Fire websites?
No, certainly wasn't. My Geo Cities or whatever. Yeah, no, not doing that. Like, it was like you would...
Page counters?
Oh, God, yeah. How many people have visited your page?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, like a little ticker?
Yeah.
We can't put that on there. That makes you look pathetic. What if someone likes what you read and then they're like, oh, only 7 other people read it? Fuck, I'm not telling anyone about this. Yeah.
Yeah, no, you pump those numbers up.
Okay. That makes sense.
Yeah, it's a
That's literally what you're talking about. Fucked up the economy. Like the .com crash.
.com crash. Facebook still does it.
Yeah.
Facebook promised the internet to third world countries.
Now they're charging them for it.
Now they're charging them for it and didn't deliver.
Which is weird because if I was a third world country, I'd be like, I'm not paying you.
Yeah.
And with what?
Like, fuck off.
Like, yeah, like suck my dick. Yeah. What?
It's like, we'll go on Facebook.
Yeah.
That's one of the weirder things too. Like over in, I want to say it's like Thailand or maybe it's Indonesia. Like Facebook is the most used fucking thing. Like Facebook is synonymous with internet.
Yeah.
Over there. Like all the phones have it built in. It's like the main messaging. Like that's why you get a smartphone, so you can have Facebook.
Interesting.
It's really weird.
Yeah. And meanwhile, America's like, that's so fucking 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
Facebook's for olds.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you have to have it for every other app.
You do. I haven't connected our softcore Instagram to Facebook yet, but I fucking need to. I'm going to be
Don't do it.
I'm going to be annoyed. Even at the beginning of the war in 1846, before all of that telegraph line was laid, the penny press was combining, the penny press from all different cities combined to make a hyper-efficient information system. They used a combination of what telegraph there was, Pony Express riders, ships, stagecoaches, trains, etc. They basically overnight created this fucking system where the information could get to people super fast. The press got news to the public 1 to 3 days faster than the government did.
Holy shit.
Yeah. This is, by the way, this has another example in American history. Do you know it?
9/11?
No. Close, though.
No, but they were having to watch the news on 9/11
Yes.
To get updates on the ground.
Yes. That was not the first time that happened, though. But you are close. Because it
Pearl
involves
Harbor?
Arabs. No, Desert Storm 1.
Oh, right. Because I think of Jarhead and shit like that. Where like they don't even know that it's over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
George Bush Sr. said that like he was getting information faster from CNN than he was from his own intelligence people.
That's insane.
And that, by the way, that war was what legitimized cable news. So 2 wars in this country's history are what essentially created modern media.
I'm sorry, war creates everything in this country. What are you talking about, Rob?
That's true.
War is
Military
like,
industrial complex.
That's why I'm pro-war.
Yeah, no.
And if you aren't, even if you've served, you're a coward.
Hey, man, like I said, you exist in the system. No, I mean, that's why we thump our chests all the time. Like, Bush was all worried about Russia and stuff. And we were like, nah, man. Nah, baby. Nothing to be worried
let's
about.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Protect Ukraine at all costs.
Yeah, man.
It's like, actually.
That's the hill I'm dying on, some muddy hill in Ukraine.
No, it's like, I think I said it as like, I don't think the world's going to end over Ukraine, guys. No. Like, I just doesn't feel right to me.
Doesn't seem accurate.
I feel like it's going to be wherever Jesus fucking died. It's going to be over a piece of shit desert.
Yeah, sounds right.
Yeah.
So getting the story out first and to as many people as possible became the ultimate and maybe only goal for the penny press. Again, this drove innovation. In 1833, when the steam press was invented, it could print 250 pages per hour. By the middle of the war, it was doing 10,000 pages per hour.
Shit.
Yeah. Now, granted, that's, 11, 12 years, but still, seems like a big leap. That shit wasn't free, though. The shit wasn't free. They didn't just get to go have fun and cover the war. During the war, the New Orleans Picayune, which still exists today, lost 25 couriers killed or captured.
Damn.
And they solved that problem, though, by just sending more couriers at the same time.
Volume.
Throw bodies at it.
They threw bodies. That's the problem.
It's the Napoleon strategy.
Yes.
Just throw bodies at it.
Yeah. If he dies, he dies.
We got more.
Right. Again, the government was getting info faster from the press than their own army as it invaded Mexico on two fronts. Taylor was going down from Texas. And then in the middle of the war, I might talk about this later, but I'll say it now because it's funny. In the middle of the war, Polk, the president, was getting upset that the press loved Taylor so much. So he was like, well, I'm going to do my own mission that I thought of. And he sent Winfield Scott to do a amphibious assault from the Gulf of Mexico to do a march straight in toward Mexico City to capture the capital. Ironically, on the same road that Cortez took to Tenochtitlan.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And Winfield Scott succeeded. Winfield Scott was...
That's how you pronounce that, by the way? I've never heard that pronounced.
I'm sure I fucked that up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that the Fountain of Youth?
No. Tenochtitlan?
Yeah.
Tenochtitlan, whatever the fuck. That's the Aztec capital. It's where Mexico City is today.
Like Tenochtitlan.
Tenochtitlan, maybe that's what it is. I don't fucking know.
But no, it's probably what you said. I don't know. I've just only seen it spelled out.
Don't give me credit on that at all.
No, you fucking nailed it.
Yeah, I think he did.
All right.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. It's like, that sounds right.
Yeah. So the press was giving Taylor, who, by the way, would be the president after Polk. So Polk was, I guess, somewhat rightly concerned about how popular Taylor was getting. So Polk literally launched an entire military campaign to make the press like him more.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
What have you made?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it should be noted that the objectivity of the penny press that it was founded on or whatever was already out the fucking window with these war correspondents. Like,
sure.
The war correspondents quickly became...
So you're saying it was a clout quest?
Yeah. Yeah. The whole war was a clout quest.
Shit don't change.
This was the first war, by the way, where this was our first kind of Vietnam. Except we won, but this was our first Vietnam. This was the first really controversial war in American history, where the Democrats were for it, the Jacksonian Democrats were for it, and the Whigs were against it. However, the Whigs were mostly against it because the Democrats were in power and they were afraid the Democrats would get all the credit.
Yeah.
They didn't care about Mexicans getting offed.
No,
or stealing land.
Oh, you mean...
They used those arguments.
Right, of
that
course.
we're being mean and we're stealing other people's land. They didn't give a fuck about that.
No, I mean, it's just policy being dictated by the people you aren't.
Yeah.
So do the opposite.
Right.
Yeah. No, of course.
Literally.
Yeah,
Shit don't change? Shit.
What happened?
Shit doesn't ever fucking change?
Yeah.
Fucking ever? In fact, the war... I don't know why this happened. The war wasn't necessarily unpopular with the public per se, but the Democrats lost the midterms in the middle of the war or near the end of the war. And then the Whig-controlled Congress made a censure or whatever against the war. They were like, this war is wrong. As they, by the way, still completed it and took the land.
So... They had a meeting to discuss, they had a censure against the war? What do you call it?
So what is
a proclamation that war is bad?
Yeah, they voted on a statement or whatever, an official, I forget the term.
Now we're already here, so we're going to finish this up, but, we really don't feel good about it.
What's funny, too, is that I think at one point Ulysses S. Grant, when he was president, said that the Civil War was punishment for how, fucked up and unnecessary the Mexican War was. I thought slavery might have been.
Yeah.
The Civil War was punishment for slavery, maybe.
Could have been that.
More than taking Mexico's land, but I don't know. But yeah,
anything but looking in the mirror.
A little bit of column B.
Yeah, whatever. You could be more than one. It was a big war. The war correspondents quickly became super close with the soldiers they covered. So, like I said, objectivity out the window. The war correspondents also got super, into it for the war. It's like super into the war itself. Like they were running. They were like couriers for the troops and stuff like that. They were helping the war effort. Okay. Like they weren't just reporting on it, like sitting back and reporting on it.
Yeah.
Anyway, one of the correspondents was so incredibly pro-soldier and pro-war. They thought it was rad when they saw people getting executed for deserting. They were like, this is great. One war correspondent actually witnessed a soldier come across a deserter that he recognized from his unit or something. And the guy had deserted like the last fall. And like he just came across and was like, I know you. And he watched that soldier kill the deserter. And in his report was like, that was awesome. That was rad.
This is dope.
Do you want to know how the soldier was killed?
How was he killed?
I'll read you the firsthand account.
Oh God! And it's from the account of the guy that thinks this is badass.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I can't wait.
It seems that he deserted from Monterey, which was a battle, last fall, and a comrade who recognized him to save the trouble of a court-martial at once pitched him into the mill frame, and he was crushed to pieces by the wheel.
Holy shit! He got stone milled?
Yeah.
Oh my God!
Yeah. And the reporter was like, hell yeah, America, brother!
Make his bones into bread. That's amazing.
I mean, that is a pretty metal way to die.
That's the worst way, dude. Can you imagine getting milled?
Yeah.
You get just flattened. Like
the best part is too, he's like, and he saved us all the trouble of a trial.
Yeah. You know what we all hate, right? Fucking bureaucracy.
Wasting taxpayers' money.
No one likes that. Just throw them. You know what this country needs, Dan? More people getting thrown in the mills.
I agree.
Less court, less gavel, more grinding.
That's
you
what
know.
I wanted to go my entire life without being stabbed at one point in my life, but I think that has now become option 2. Like,
It's like, I'd rather not get milled.
yeah, I'd rather not get milled.
Yeah.
Isn't there a movie where someone dies like that, but it's like in gears or something? Because that's the same thing, really, right? Like where you get stuck in gears and you're like,
Yeah, you would get. I've had to have seen that scene because I know what you're talking about.
Oh, it is kind of like it happens in Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom. That guy, it gets like sucked into the rock crusher.
Oh yeah.
Kind of the same thing.
Yes, that's very similar to
Yeah.
what going into a mill would be like.
So yeah, the Mexican-American War exponentially increased the media information, but also increased media costs. In 1840, it cost about $10K to start a penny press paper. By 1848, the end of the war, it cost $100,000.
Damn.
That is,
10x their investment.
yeah, did not keep up with inflation. The war, also brought media alliances such as the Associated Press. Was invented for this war. When papers couldn't get their own stories, they also literally just plagiarized other papers. And then when they got accused or caught, they turned that into news.
Oh, right. So it's even better.
Shit don't change.
Just doubling down.
Taylor's oldest time.
The news reporting about the news is one of the most infuriating
It
things
makes
in the
me
world.
want to just start committing murders.
Yeah, it's like, oh God, it's like meetings about meetings. You know, it's like, oh, we got to have a meeting about having too many meetings. We have this news story about this other news network that's doing news.
That's how you know it's all bullshit when Fox is like, look what Brian Stelter said, and then CNN is like, look what Tucker Carlson said.
Ugh.
Like, no, it's reality TV.
Yep.
That is reality television.
Yeah, no, it's anytime I see headlines like Tucker Carlson says, it's like, if I wanted to know what he said, I would have watched him say it.
Right.
I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't need to be told about it.
Yeah. So again, penny press, objectivity, out the window. James K. Polk, who was president, was a Democrat, and a Democrat-leaning penny press papers accused anyone who opposed the war, Whigs mostly, of being un-American, blah, blah, blah. We've heard it all before, freedom fries. Mm-hmm. Whatever. Meanwhile, Whig penny press newspapers were anti-war entirely because a Democrat was doing it. The war was not super justified, but again, fuck their motives. Their motives were not in the interest of justice or peace or Mexico or anything
Selling
like
ads,
that.
dude.
Yeah. The Whigs wrote such informed and intelligent opinions as, the conquest to us is worthless. California, whatever.
Love it or leave it.
Yeah.
Who cares?
Also, I assume you've heard of the San Francisco 49ers.
Yes.
Yeah, so they're named after the 1849 gold rush, which happened a year after we got California.
Yeah. Was familiar with that.
Yeah.
I think most people know that, right?
Yeah, I would think so.
What, that they're named after the gold rush?
Yeah.
I would think so.
Yeah. It really didn't matter what anyone believed, though. The papers didn't really care. The war was just good for business.
Sure.
The media also had insane effects on the war itself. When the war started, I told you about the Zachary Taylor stuff. President Polk sent whatever the fuck Winfield Scott on his own mission. Polk also sent a diplomat to offer Mexico, who was getting their ass kicked, $30 million for peace, and then them giving California. We already had Texas, but them like dropping their claim to Texas and New Mexico. And New Mexico was much bigger than the square it currently is.
Yeah. I think it was more states, right? Like New Mexico was kind of like Arizona, wasn't it?
Arizona and a lot of northern
like,
stuff north of that
yeah.
too, like Colorado and shit. But the media got wind of it and called him a pussy, so he canceled it.
Dude,
So the war went on.
Yeah.
So more people died.
This guy kind of was a cuck.
He was.
It's like, oh, the media said mean things about me.
Yeah.
And change my tune.
The media also just wrote some wild shit. For example, the New York Herald printed this fun sentence. Like the Sabine virgins, she, meaning Mexico, will soon learn to love her ravisher.
Jesus Christ. So that was just like a very wordy way of saying we're going to rape that country.
But they're gonna enjoy it.
We're going to rape them till they like it.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's news.
Yeah.
I get it now.
Listen,
I get it.
was a different time.
Dan always just walks that back, you know. Not walks it back, I'm sorry. I don't even know the words I'm trying to say.
It's fine.
Penny paper.
The reporting was also way too sensitive. And I'm talking like, remember when Geraldo Rivera got kicked out of his embedding during the invasion of Iraq?
No, because he gave away his location?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jack, was that your unit?
I didn't find out. I was there for the invasion of Iraq, and I didn't find out about that until we got back. Wasn't a big deal to me. I didn't take it personally. I was a private. I was just doing what I was told.
Just doing your job.
Yeah, unlike Geraldo.
The reporting in the Mexican War was sometimes too sensitive too. At one point, a journalist following Winfield Scott's army, who was attacking Mexico City, literally wrote, keep in mind, this message had to make its way through enemy territory, the types of cannons being brought up, and that the army was like kind of out of food and their supply wagons were way behind. In his report that he was sending through Mexico to fucking get back to America. Scott, who might actually, decent argument for being our greatest general in American history, actually knew the press was getting intercepted and was way ahead of the curve and would send out misinformation hoping it would be intercepted.
Shit.
Yeah.
Dubious or devious, whatever. I can't do words today anymore.
It's
like my
early,
brain is turned
and
into
I'm the only one drinking White Claw, so my brain's the sharpest.
That's right. That's how it works. It enhances.
Yeah. But regardless of all this, all that stuff, there is no question that the Mexican-American War was probably the defining moment when the press became the quote-unquote fourth estate or whatever. It was this moment when the press became a major player in American politics. Before that, the press was not that big, only for the elite, kind of a wing of the politics already, didn't influence the politics. The politics influenced and paid for it.
Yeah.
Now the press became what influenced literal politics and literally
Almost
extending the war.
Yeah.
Like all this stuff. Like the press became what it is today during the Mexican-American War. That was the defining moment, the founding moment of the modern American press.
Ugh. Gross.
Yeah.
I mean, but without it, we wouldn't be sitting here talking about stuff. It's all about content, baby.
Yeah.
Got to make that hot content every day.
They knew it. They knew it back then. It's all about content.
Pay that rent. Make that cont.
Yeah. What'd you guys learn today?
Well, I actually learned that the Mexican-American War and the Texas-American War, or whatever the fuck, were different wars.
The Texas War of Independence.
Yeah.
The Texas War of Independence was about 10 years prior to it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I learned that.
Had no idea
I learned that.
To be fair,
I know nothing about the 1830s.
Yeah.
That's what I learned.
To be fair about that, though, both wars had the same commander, Santa Anna,
Okay.
on the Mexican side.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he was the bad guy in both of them.
He was the baddie.
Yeah. He was a dick.
I mean,
It is funny, though, that we live in Austin and none of us know any Texas history,
I don't know a lot.
which they do teach, right? Like
Yeah,
in
They
Texas
have, yeah, that's an actual thing.
Well, we had Florida history.
You think the debate with all this critical race theory stuff, about the revisionist history stuff is bad across the country? Like, Texans are the best in the country at just lying to themselves about their own history. I could go on the rant of why the Alamo defenders had it coming, but we could save that for another time.
We often try not to remember the Alamo.
It's whatever.
I'm just kidding.
It didn't do anything.
I've no.
Yeah.
You know what? Honestly, when I went to San Antonio for the first time and saw that thing, I was so underwhelmed. Though, I was just like, "Oh,
There it is.
You just expect
It's
it to
in
be
the middle of town.
You pass it on accident sometimes.
Yeah.
Like I expected it to be humongous.
Yeah.
I guess. And
Yeah, Jack lives like right by it.
Yeah, I walk past there every morning. I agree, it's completely underwhelming. But we do have 4 other missions there that are untouched, a little more off the beaten path, and they're really cool places to go to.
I'll have to check that out.
The Alamo's just a gift shop. That's all it is.
At this point, pretty much. It is fun to see the bullet holes in the wall, or the musket ball holes in the wall, whatever you want to call it. What did you learn today, Jake?
well, as soon as anything gets ads, as soon as advertisements exist in something, it's getting fucking bought. Like, it's not objective anymore. I didn't learn that, though. So what did I actually learn today? My favorite thing that I learned today was the first thing he wrote in the Telegram, what evil have we wrought?
What hath God wrought?
Yeah, right. That's amazing.
Yeah, that they just knew it from the beginning.
I would love to think that, like, the first email was like, look at the rack on Gen and accounting. Like, some shit like that.
Pretty much.
If I ever invent some form of communication, I'm making a dick joke.
Yeah,
First things first.
100%.
It's going to be like, wieners.
Yeah.
But
What hath God sucked?
do you think God has a wife?
No, I think he's a player.
You think he's a player?
Yeah.
Fucks a lot of bitches.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean like Zeus, Odin, they all just
Zeus definitely laid
They
pipe.
fuck
yeah.
around, yeah.
Yeah.
Zeus laid pipe too much.
Yeah, he got in trouble for it.
Yeah.
His wife did not like that.
Not into it.
Yeah.
They were in an open marriage that only he agreed on.
Yeah. The other one, what was the goddess's name?
Not Hera.
Hera?
Is it Hera?
I think it might have been Hera. It was an H name for sure, but she was like not happy with Zeus ever.
Hera. It was Hera.
Yeah.
women, am I right?
Women.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, but I learned a lot.
Just in general.
Yeah.
Yeah, again, nothing about the 1830s.
Yeah. Well, I felt bad because we knew a lot of America stuff lately, and I wanted to go back deeper into time, do something ancient, but I literally came across this on accident reading something else, and I was like, fuck, this is too fun. I got to do this.
Plus, we've been doing stuff that's a little too recent as well. I think we went Unabomber.
Unabomber was, you guys said 20 years.
Yeah,
I'm
but
sticking
it's
to it.
20-year rule.
But then I followed with something that happened in
Like the Lufthansa thing to you.
Yeah.
That was like same era too,
Yeah,
really,
yeah.
right around the same time.
He was bombing people when they were robbing people.
Yeah, it was probably same. Yeah, he was probably making a bomb out there in Montana when they were setting up that heist.
Yeah.
I can tell you what I learned.
Please.
I learned it's extremely difficult to run these cameras and be witty on air at the same time. So I have so much respect for you guys now, having to multitask like that.
Well, Rob doesn't run the camera.
Yeah,
No, I just sit there.
I do nothing.
Well, he means during the other shows.
Oh,
When we're on the
Yeah,
producer
me.
desk. Yeah, it's Dan.
Dan do.
Dan, do it.
Dan, do it.
And then who was the Hitler of this episode?
New York Times.
I was gonna say the
fucking
press.
agree.
The press.
Yeah. The fucking media.
Yeah. The media's the Hitler.
Yeah.
Probably the guy that was like that crushed his.
It's just like the guy that milled his deserter friend.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's probably the Hitler. Of the episode.
Those two together, the reporter goading him on
Yeah.
and him be like, "Oh, you like fucking killing deserters? Check this shit out.
Yeah.
We're gonna Mortal Kombat this guy, fatality him, fucking crushed
Yeah,
him.
I
in
would
a mill.
say that guy and the war correspondent who was
Yeah.
into it is my Hitler as well. Come on, man. Like even if you think he deserved to die on the spot, that's just
Why waste time with a trial that could be
Yeah.
fair when we can smash him to death?
at least shoot him in the head or
Make
something.
it fast.
God damn. Like
So-
he saw that coming.
Yeah.
Ugh. All right. That's all I got.
Yep. Again, make sure to rate, review. Check out the store, softwarehistory.com, and check us out on Instagram. We've been posting some memes from our buddy Boosh.
Yeah.
He's been working on some history memes exclusively for our account.
He has been, yes.
Yeah.
So
These are boutique history memes. Small batch memes, guys. I don't think you understand how cool this is. Small batch, limited edition Boosh memes.
so follow us at Softcore History on Instagram, and appreciate you guys listening week in and week out.
Fuck yeah. See you later.
And you just got soft served.